Well, as of today, service aiming to help residents with mental health related issues is now being offered 7 days a week. The Madison CARES program extending its service to the weekends. NBC 15's Tyler Peters joins me now. Tyler, the program offers an alternative response to sending law enforcement.
Yeah, Michelle, the Madison CARES program consists of a Madison Fire Department community paramedic and a Journey mental health crisis worker. They respond to people experiencing behavioral health emergencies. Today, marking the beginning of their new weekend service.
We knew this expansion was coming.
The Madison CARES program has been operating Monday through Friday after it launched in 2021. Now the Madison CARES program is expanding to weekends.
We really just needed to make sure that we were hiring good workers, getting them onboarded and trained before we could actually start weekend hours.
The CARES program operates out of 2 Madison fire stations with teams responding to nonviolent behavioral health-related emergencies.
The variety of calls that we go on is really broad, and they really do have to have the bandwidth to handle not only different types of mental health calls, but different ages of people, different demographics, and that's really what they train hard to do.
Stedman says the program has responded to over 3,200 calls for service since being created.
What we are learning truly is that the more resources we put on the street, the more use of those resources there will be. So we're looking to expand thoughtfully into the future.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says it's important to have a citywide service like CARES.
I think mental health is a really severe issue facing our community, but our entire nation. Coming out of the pandemic in particular, I hope we are all paying more attention to our mental health.
Right now, services are not offered past 8 p.m. Eventually, Stedman says the hope is to offer the CARES program 24/7.
We collect a lot of data around not just the demographics of patients, but the call volumes, certain spots in the city that are busier than others, what times of the day are busier. And as we've expanded, we've always used that data to inform us about what the next appropriate expansion should look like.
And Madison CARES partners with Dane County health officials because they have statutory oversight on what a mental health related response looks like. In studio, Tyler Peters, NBC 15 News.